Hello Stampin' Friends. It's Tuesday night and it's time for Tuesday Night Stampin' Club with Julia Mazer, that's me, and Simply She Stamps, that's my blog and my Facebook page here for my paper crafting adventures. I have a card for you today that I'm calling a Designer Series Paper Fun Fold, and I will show you how to put this together real quick. And I'm going to grab my paper trimmer here and show you what I did. I took a piece of Designer Series paper, and it is cut at 5.5 by 12, so it's almost a half a sheet of paper. And then I decided what I wanted on my front and on the inside of my card. So this piece of Designer Series paper is going to be my card base. Okay, let me pull up my video here in case I have any questions while I'm going through this. Oh, did I freeze up here? There we go. So if you have any questions while I'm going through this card, please make a comment and I will try to answer them as we go. All right, so sometimes your paper has a right way and a wrong way, and this Peony Garden paper, it's kind of every which way. The flowers are right side up and upside down, so it works out well with this paper. But if you want the images right side up, you're going to use my measurements here to score your paper, okay? So I lined it up. Oh, I need to swing out my arm. Hold on one second. There we go. I'm going to use the scoring blade. This is the light color blade, all right, after I cut this. And I am going to line it up at 3 3/4. Let's see, I gotta move my trimmer down here. Gonna move a little bit in my seat here so I can do this. Okay, and I'm gonna score at 3 3/4, and then I'm gonna move it down and I'm gonna score at 7 3/4. Okay, oops, I just cut it. It's a good thing that I have a whole bunch more. Don't do that. Sometimes I feel like I need to use washi tape and keep that cutting blade. I'm so used to cutting and not scoring so much with this trimmer, so oops. All right, but that's how I scored my paper, and good thing I have some extras right here. See, here's my extra. I scored it at 3 3/4 and then also at 7 3/4, and I folded it over and then folded this piece back, okay? And then on the inside here, I have a piece of Petal Pink cardstock. This is 5.5 and this is 3 3/4. Let me grab my adhesive here, my Stampin' Seal. And then this basic white piece is 3.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to layer this on here and get a nice frame on either edge. I actually liked it how it went to the top of the card. You could make it shorter if you wanted a little panel. And then I put that on my Designer Series paper right there. Okay, so this is my card, and this panel on the inside kind of makes it a little bit sturdier. I have a confession. I am a Designer Series paper hoarder, and I am trying to use up my paper, and especially with the annual catalog, new annual catalog coming, I have a lot of Designer Series paper that will not be retired. So this is a great way to use up your paper, and it just makes a beautiful card. So you have the outside and then the inside there. And if you wanted to, you could put messages on all these panels. Okay, so there's the inside of our card. This is the front of the card, and we're going to just layer it up. We're using the Peony Garden. I can't answer right now. I am using I think these are nested labels. Let's make sure I have the right name there. These are retiring, yeah, stitched nested labels, and unfortunately they are on that last chance list. Okay, so I'm going to put this panel down with my Stampin' Seal, okay, and then I'm going to create my peony. I'm going to grab this, and let me show you a wonderful tip. What I did with this peony, I cut out the pieces. There's a matching die set with the prize peony, which is carrying over to the next catalog. This Designer Series paper is not. This is going to be retiring. It's only available until May 3rd or while supplies last. And what I did was I cut out these pieces and then I ran it through the Old World paper embossing folder, which is retiring. This will not be available after May 3rd. So it makes a great, gives great texture to our peony here. And I'm gonna add some more texture. I'm gonna add some color because those peonies have a little color on the edges. So I'm gonna take my blending brush here and pick up some Petal Pink ink on my blending brush. And I'm going to just start off the edge and add some to the edges there. And this is gonna be a nice soft look. And you can add more color if you want. And this is just gonna make it look like a realistic peony. And I love these blending brushes. Our stamping sponges are retiring, and most likely because we have these beautiful blending brushes. And it, let's see, that's the bottom. No, that's the bottom. I gotta remember how I'm putting this peony together and which one's the top and the bottom. Okay, and you can add as much color as you want. Let's add a little more darker there, and there we go. Okay, so again, just adding a touch of color there, and I am going to put my peony together. There are 4 pieces here, and we're going to start from smallest to largest, and don't be intimidated by this peony. Let's see, can you, oh, let's move this up here so we don't get lost. Usually I tape my little placemat down here. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one, and I am going to shimmy it in down here through this little slot. This one I think is the hardest. Shimmy down there. Oh my goodness. Doing this on camera, right? They're here now. Yeah, no, I'm doing this the right way, right? Isn't this the little, this little guy is gonna go right there. And these are all gonna match up, so I'm doing this right. I think it's once I put it through the embossing folder, it's just a little tight to get through. There we go, okay. And then I'm going to grab my U-Pick tool, and I'm just gonna grab a glue dot and put a glue dot right there. You could use just liquid glue or some of your adhesive, and I'm lining them up at the bottom. Okay, this one's gonna go in the next largest piece, and you just kind of put it in the slot and shimmy it down. Let's see, can you see this? I need to get a little closer. So all these edges at the bottom line up, and you do want to adhere it as you go in some way. There we go. And then our last one is gonna shimmy on down. There we go. And the last little glue dot. So it's not very difficult to put together once you kind of know what you're aiming for. And I just love this little peony. Okay, so there's our peony. I probably need to put a little glue dot in the center for the stamen so that doesn't fall out. I should have done that first. Oh well, you know, that happens. Oh, it's been one of those days. All right, so there is our beautiful peony, and I am going to cut, I'm going to use my soft sea foam. I'm going to grab, I didn't get a chance to cut out my leaves, so I'm going to do that really quickly on my mini, and we just want some leaves so they don't, it's not floating around. You need something to anchor it, so that's what I'm going to do. Take my soft sea foam and just put those right here, and I'm going to run it through my little mini. I love having my little mini cut and emboss, the little mini. I have it on my desktop, so when I'm cutting little, oops, sorry, except I'm shaking you. We can do some quick and easy cutting. And there's another piece that goes with that if I wanted to add some more design, but I'm just going to keep it kind of soft, and I just want a little anchor there. Let's see, I think I want to do this one on that side and this right there. We're going to play around here, and we're going to stamp a greeting. So I'm going to stamp the greeting before I put my flower on, and I do want to show you a little trick for our cling stamps. When you get our stamps, if they're not photopolymer, if they're cling stamps, they come unassembled, so you have to punch them out, and you have the labels. And I'm going to use this My Thoughts Are With You, and this is my favorite way of mounting my stamps. I take the peel the label off the paper there. I put the sticky part on my acrylic block, and I'm using my U-Pick tool just to peel up the backing. Okay, and that's very sticky, so don't let that get anywhere. Here's my stamp. I'm going to peel off the backing on that. This is not sticky. It will cling to the block, but I do like putting the labels on mine. And I'm going to make sure that I have the writing right side up. And I am going to pick up the stamp just like that. And I have found this has been a great way to get my labels in the right spot. I have some basic gray ink right here. My Thoughts Are With You. I'm going to stamp on my scrap paper and see how well I did lining that up. Yep, pretty good. And I am just going to stamp that on the bottom here, make sure it's well inked. Stamp that at the bottom. Now, most often I would stamp on the label before I put it on my card. It's kind of best to stamp everything and then assemble, but that's okay. Sometimes we do it a little backwards on Tuesday Night Stampin' Club here. So My Thoughts Are With You. You could just put your peony just like that if you wanted to. I might want to add some ink there to the insides. You can do that too. Okay, and this little guy I am going to put on with glue dots, or I could use my tear and tape. Tear and tape is really strong, so let's use the tear and tape. I worried, since it's so bulky, that just my Stampin' Seal would not hold it as tightly as I would like it to. And I think I will just put an extra piece down there for my leaves and stick the leaves onto the back of my peony here. There we go. Our super strong tear and tape. I use this so much for things. Okay, and I'm gonna put that there and sneak this one. Let's see, there we go. Just kind of make them a little, there we go. Okay, My Thoughts Are With You. And then I'm going to use some elegant faceted gems. These coordinate with the Peony Garden. My U-Pick tool, let's see, which one am I going to use? I think I am going to use these. And I'm just going to add 3 because we have our rule of 3. And I think I'll just put them all down here. There you go. My thoughts are with you. They kind of look like drops of water. Okay, so that is our Designer Series paper fun fold, and you learned how to use our blending brushes to add just a little bit to our peony, and the Old World paper embossing folder to add that extra texture, especially on the peony. It works great for any flowers, but that peony just works well. Can you tell in the, if I move it around, I'm going to kind of see in the video to see if you can see all that texture. Okay. So that is that for tonight. I will also be finishing up tonight a sample using the Fine Art Floral paper. This is another one that would be great to use. And be sure to check my blog post tomorrow for all the dimensions and the supplies used. Thank you for joining me tonight live, or if you're watching on replay, you can always leave a comment. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And you may notice I have the April host code right here. Remember, there are things that are on sale, last chance items, the clearance rack, and some things are just are incredible sale that you can't. There's little stamp sets for like $5 and a trio of tags. If you check these things on my blog at simplyshestamps.blogspot.com, you'll see some of my favorite things that are really you can get for a great deal. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.